Everybody, I hope and pray that you're doing well today as we come to our word from the Word. And today that word is legacy. Legacy. Now, probably we all think about, well, what we're going to leave behind. What mark are we going to leave? What are people going to remember us for? Now, a lot of times, I guess, the older we get, the more we think about that. And it's probably just because when we're younger, we think, we're immortal. We don't think anything can touch us and nothing will happen. But then the older we get, the more that we see that friends and family members, many times those younger than we are, pass away from some sickness or some accident, some tragedy. With all these things, and I don't want to start off your Monday, if you're watching these daily, start you off kind of real grim and everything looking at that. But also the psalmist is saying, look, now that I've gotten old, and he's talking about having gray hair, which I just have no hair. But even with that, he's saying, I still have something to offer. And I think that's a good place for all of us to remember that no matter how young we are, no matter how old we are, that God has a plan. We've been talking about, we just started a new Sunday series talking about purpose. And so as we're talking about that purpose, we also have to understand that God has a purpose for using us where we are now and what we can leave behind. So don't think, no matter how young you are, how old you are, God has a plan and a purpose. So if the psalmist is here saying, look, I want you to remember that even though I'm old, God, I've still got something I can do. A lot of times I think it's usually the other way around. Usually we're using the excuses and God's saying, no, I still have something for you to do. So I think we can learn from what the psalmist is saying here today. Psalm 71, looking at verses 17 and 18, as always, I encourage you to read the entire psalm. But he says, "O God, you have taught me from my youth, and to this day I declare your wondrous works. Now also, when I am old and gray-headed, O God, do not forsake me, until I declare your strength to this generation, your power to everyone who is to come." Did you catch that? What he wants his legacy essentially to be is, God, I want them to know you. God, don't take me from this place until I've told the next generation about you. Man, I wish that would be our heart's desire, right? That it's not that we say, God, I want to hang on here for a little bit so I can see my kids and grandkids grow up, or great grandkids. And I want to see this event and I want to see that event and I want to be able to do this and do that. Throw all that away. Put all that to the side. Let our focus be, God, I don't want to leave from this place until I have not only told, but I have praised and I have glorified the name of God in what has happened in my life, as what God has done. That's what he says. I want the next generation to know who you are. If you look through the book of Judges and you see all the problems, that there came a generation that didn't know what all God had done. And so the psalmist here is saying, look, I know I'm old, but look, don't take me until I've had a chance to tell as many people in the next generation as I can about, God, what you've done. He's saying, I don't want my legacy to be about me. God, I want my legacy to be about you and what you've done. And man, shouldn't that be our heart's desire, that, look, when we're gone from this place, right, none of us are promised another day. So, I always say this could be the last video I ever do. And I want my legacy to be that I pointed you to Jesus, that you saw what God had done in my life, and that brought glory to his name, not glory to my name. And that's the whole process of Christianity. That's the whole process of purpose we've been talking about. It's the whole reason that God has this relationship with us, so that we will share that relationship with others, so that we'll share with them how they can know the same God that we know, how they can rely on the same God who we rely on, how they can bless the same God that we bless. And yes, the same God that we cry out to and ask questions and say, God, we don't understand, it's the same God that they can ask those same questions of. He's a God who's able. He's a God who's near us. See, he's a God who has done great miracles in the past and is still able to do great miracles today. That's the legacy that we need to leave behind. To say, God, when it's my time to go, I know it's my time to go, but don't let that be it until I've passed along to the next generation how great a God you really are. What's your legacy? What's your desire of what you would leave behind? It's definitely something to think about today. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.